Hello, I'm very happy to join and to be part of this lesson. So let's begin our lesson today. Today we are going to learn and teach you a new lesson which is past simple tense. So there are two verbs, to be and other verbs. So let's begin with the first one. What is the structure of verb to be in the past simple? It's subject plus was or were. For example, I was at home yesterday. So to explain this example, let's draw a timeline. So this is past and this is present, and of course this one is future. So I was at home yesterday. So here is the sentence, the yesterday. So the action happened in the past and exactly yesterday. Let's take another example. For example, other subject. We were in Beijing last month. We were in Beijing last month. In negative form, we can say we were not in Beijing last month. To ask a question, we can say were we in Beijing last month? Or was I at home yesterday? Okay. Let's move now to other verbs. Other verbs, there are two types. There is one called regular verbs, and the second one is called irregular verbs. So what's the difference between regular verbs and irregular verbs? Regular verbs ends with AD. However, irregular verbs always or usually change in the form, means that they don't take the ed. So let's begin first with the regular verbs. Let's take an example. I watched television last Sunday. So what is the verb? It's watched. The infinitive is watch. And the past simple or the past tense is watched. We add ed. So let's draw the timeline again. Just delete this one. So I watched television last Sunday. Here is the sentence or the action. Last month, here. Or last Sunday, sorry. So I watched television when it's last Sunday. This is the moment where or when the action happened. There are other verbs, for example, play. We say we add ed, played. Stay, stayed. And here you should really pay attention to the pronunciation. If we say, for example, play, played, it ends with D. But if we say work, worked, it ends with T, worked. If we say, for example, waited, it ends with ID, waited. Okay, and there are also some rules we should respect when we talk about regular verbs. For example, if we have this verb study, so it ends with a consonant which is of course D and Y. So we delete Y and we add I and we add of course ed. So it is studied. If we have, for example, play, it ends with a vowel plus Y. So we keep the y and we add ed. So let's move now to irregular verbs. So we said that regular verbs ends with ed, while or however irregular verbs don't end with ed. They always or usually change the form of verbs. For example, go becomes went. Another verb, leave, it becomes lift. So here there is a change. We don't add ed, go, no. We say went when in the past tense. Let's take an example of this. I went to the cinema last month, maybe, or last week. I went to the cinema last week. Okay? So if we want to change this sentence into negative one, we say I didn't or I did not go to the cinema last week. If we want to change it to interrogative sentence or a question, we say did I go to the cinema last week? Did I go to the cinema last week? So guys, we have discovered in our lessons two types of verbs, to be and other verbs. We said that to be, the structure is subject plus was plus were or were, while other verbs can be divided into types. Regular verbs which take ed and irregular verbs which change in their form. Let's now move to the use of the past simple. When do we use the past tense or the past simple? So we use the past simple in order to talk about the actions that happened in the past at a specific time. We always or we usually use some expressions. For example, ago, last Monday, last week, last month, yesterday. So this is as an indication of time. Thank you for watching and goodbye.